There's no right or wrong way to grow the business that you want to grow. You may want to never see one-on-one clients and just build up a newsletter that you charge a monthly membership for, or that you grow so big that then you do partnerships for and then advertisement on. You may love one-on-one coaching and just want to do one-on-one. You may just want to do a group. There's so many things and ways to do it that there's no right or wrong way. And where people make the biggest mistake is they grow their business by focusing and creating offers that drain them. This is Grow Your Business. We're about to have an amazing conversation. I think that this conversation is supremely important. And the reason why I'm having this conversation is because I was sitting with one of my one-on-one clients and she's telling me her business goals and what she's going to do. She was thinking of launching a group program. And I told her to take a step back because I kept seeing her verbiage. She kept saying, oh, I need more time. I never have time. When I hear that, I think, okay, why are you going to create programs that will require more of your time? She should be creating something more on demand. The whole purpose of this conversation is to, number one, come to terms with the fact that what your dream business looks like may not be what someone else's dream business looks like. It's not just the numbers that we set when we're creating goals to grow our business, it's also time numbers. Do you want to be very high touch with your clients, or do you want to maybe create things that don't require time with people that are more, let's say, a newsletter subscription, courses, and everyone's at different evolutions in their business at different levels. This is why we're having the conversation. What's up, Tara? What plans do you have to grow your business?
What a great question. Actually, perfect timing. Over the weekend, I was sitting and spending some time with my hubby, and I said, for my new word, I think it's going to be consistency for me. And it's a toss-up between consistency and ask, the power of asking. But I really sat down and I started to write certain things that I really want to focus on, like launching my project goals, revenue goals, metric goals, and profit margin goals. That's what I think I'm going to focus on. Don't know how I'm going to get there yet, but at least I put it down, I put it into a calendar, and I'm just going to take the baby steps to get there along the way and see what happens. That's my plan as of December.
I think that the beauty of growing a business is that there's really only 3 ways to do it. We complicate it just by being who we are, but there's really only 3 ways. The first way is to obviously get more clients, increase the number of clients that you have. The second way is to increase what they pay you on average, their lifetime value. Right now, if your client lifetime value is $1,000, you could double your business by making it $2,000. Right now, if you have 20 clients in your business, you can double it by getting 40 clients. And then the third thing is to increase obviously the number of times that they pay you. So let's say that you have a mastermind and you charge $5,000 a year right now. You could literally quadruple your business by charging $5,000 a quarter. Where people get stuck with growing your business is that there's so many ways to do it, but there are ways where you could leverage with your skill set that make you feel great in your business that are better than others. And that's really where that self-awareness comes in. How can I help you? What question can I answer for you?
Well, I got tons. Do you have more than an hour and a half? Honestly, it's the visibility for me. And I know that actually is in alignment with the consistency. And that's why I purposely chose that word. And what I did was, and I learned from this year, is that I just took on too much. And then there just truly wasn't enough time for everything. So I went over my schedule this weekend and I said no to a lot of things because there's only one Tara. So it's really the visibility for me. And because I speak a language that most corporate spaces don't really enjoy, I really need to fine tune that and learn how to speak that language. So how do I do that?
By language, you mean spiritual stuff?
Yes, you got it. The emotional intelligence part I have down pat. It's more of the spirituality part.
I highly believe that you can't change people's beliefs. And you also can't change whether or not they allow themselves to be judged. Let's say there is a very spiritual person in a corporate space, but they may be the person that won't make that move because of how other people will look at them. If I were you, the path of least resistance would be just to find people with the beliefs required to do that thing. People that already have that propensity to spirituality, industries that have the propensity to spirituality and stuff that are growing, such as cannabis, those type of things, because there are multi-$100 million companies in those spaces where you won't have to change or try to fight that tsunami of going against the beliefs of the decision maker. So,
Oh, I love that. I didn't do that because I had all the other industries coming to me. So I had the schools coming to me and the corporate spaces coming to me. And as you know, like just recently, I came into the prison system. So I didn't actually actively go and seek these corporations or these industries. They just came to me. That's an awesome share, sweetheart.
yeah, and if they're coming to you, that's a good sign. But if I had a choice between two people, if I had to convince one, let's say with LinkedIn, I don't try to convince someone that LinkedIn is important. I serve people with the awareness that they already know LinkedIn's important and they already have the self-awareness that they're not tapping into it the way that they could be. If I sat with someone who was an Instagram lover and spent all of my time trying to convince them you have to get to LinkedIn, drop Instagram, I would lose so much time and I still wouldn't win because that's not their belief. The way that I see it, your content just has to get people that already have that belief that are in higher level positions to raise their hand. Camille, what's up?
Hey. My question to you is, as you know, I am a wellness coach, all about building up a holistic lifestyle, creating that time within your lifestyle so that you could work into yourself so you could be in the most optimal health, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Now, my question to you is, given the fact that I am in the wellness industry and I do work with busy women in business, how would you better position yourself on platforms such as this one to prove and also to give light to all of these amazing women that they are doing fantastic in their careers and everything that they're doing and they aspire to be, but they also have to take time to take care of that temple. My question is how would you really get in front of that avatar to really spark that interest?
I think it was my first year in college. The week of my exams, I was aware that I didn't hear from my mom, but I was so busy at the same time. And then my stepbrother at the time, he came to my dorm to drop something off. We went to the same college and he said, "Don't call your mom," or something. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Why would you say that? So I started to grill him. Long story short, my mom had had a stroke and she was a business owner who had pushed herself to the limit and who had suffered because of that. And when she suffered that, she then was forced to take care of herself. So it's like a lot of business has to do with timing. And there are people that you're going to speak this health message to that in 6 months, when they're ready for a wedding, they'll reach out. But for you to convert in the least amount of time, you have to speak to that maybe 55-year-old professional woman who maybe took on too much and maybe had a health scare because of it and is now in a position where they have no choice but to take care of their health. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, because that is a part of my story too as well.
It aligns with your mom's story. So if I were you, that's who I would double down on, because who's talking to those women, Camille, that you know?
Exactly.
I don't know of one person.
That's exactly why I'm here. And it really hit me when my mom finally woke up out of her coma. And she's a very, very, very successful international advisor. And she said to me, after 40 years of giving my all, within a matter of 6 months, I was replaced. And now I have to focus on myself. So when I heard that, I said, I don't ever want to hear another amazing woman put everything else first until they're sitting in a bed. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So then I just go to the drawing board a little bit with your content and all of these principles and stuff that you're talking about. Talk to that person. For example, instead of saying, hey, do 10-minute workouts, talk about workouts after maybe a health scare, because they can't just hop in the gym again full force. Miranda, what's up?
Hey there. Okay, here's my question, Shanae. You mentioned a few industries. I'm a spiritual growth coach. What other industries would you think that would be more receptive to a message about spiritual growth without having to be convinced that life is more spiritual than physical?
What do you do?
Change their focus, their mindset, what they think about. I encourage them to think about spiritual things like their music. Worship music comes in every genre. So I would encourage them, whatever genre you're into, leave that music that's talking about the physical and listen to that same genre of music that talks about the spiritual. For instance, that's one place I would start.
What do they ultimately get when they hire you?
The goal is for them to establish a spiritual relationship with God.
You help them basically believe in God again or find God again?
Yes.
Okay. My question to that would be, who would lose faith in God and would want it back? That's who I would talk to if I were you. It could be someone that was very religious or spiritual and unfortunately maybe lost a child. Could be someone where something out of their control, tragic, happened and they lose faith in God. And then they realize that they can only be bitter or dark for so long. They start to lose themselves and they start to get scared that if they stay in that dark place for too long, that they'll lose themselves for good. So that's who I would talk to.
Awesome. Thanks, Shanae.
And I think your messaging should be more clear. If you're going to help them reconnect with their belief in God, then that should be your thing versus spiritual growth because it's so general. If you feel lost and you see someone say, I have a process that could help you regain your faith, then that's very specific. Corey, what's up?
My question is that as a master plan strategist, I'm really good at organizing and managing and trying to put in place what it is that I want my end product to be without really focusing on the steps to get there because I'm going to let that happen as I'm building. But when I'm doing that, I'm putting together a feasibility study, a budget to really understand how I'm going to afford to be able to do this thing. And I do have trouble deciding where to place my funds in the sense that I've got a lot to do and I can't do it all. And I want to be able to hire out a virtual assistant or other support systems. But at the same time, I know that I need to get my marketing out and I need to have these different softwares to set things up. It starts getting spread out to a point where focusing on what I'm spending my money on can be difficult. So can you provide any guidance on that?
What's your product?
I am developing an online college for construction management online. And basically what I do is I provide a transition opportunity for either people who've been working hands-on out in the field and want to transition into a management position, or people who've come from a different industry wanting to transition into construction management.
Do you sell to the employee or do you partner with the employer?
My focus has been on supporting employees. However, I've found that I believe I need to switch that focus to the employer because the employer needs to have confidence in the credibility of my program. I have 18 years of construction management teaching experience, and I've gained a lot of employers' confidence through that. But being able to provide a product that the students are investing in that they know is going to be able to help them also with an employer opportunity, I think is going to need to be the switch I need to make this year.
How much money are these employers making? 50 million-ish?
Yeah, you mean as far as the size of the company?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be small to mid, not large companies. Large companies have the money to be able to afford some of these.
Well, 50 million in construction isn't large. Are you going for 5 to 10? What size are you going for?
I would say anything under 50 million would be
like 25-ish.
Yeah. Someone who really doesn't have the money to be able to afford a full-time workforce trainer or educator where they can send their employees to my site to be able to take them through the different paths or skill builder courses.
And then the benefit for them is that obviously their employees are getting upskilled.
Exactly.
I brought AJ to the stage. So AJ deals a lot with construction companies as well. And one of the things that's worked in my strategy with him is he's creating content, and then he's having either master classes where they schedule calls or they just ask for a consultation inbound, and he has a high ticket offer for them. It's worked well. AJ, do you want to give your 2 cents here for her?
I just want to say, just to start, I work with construction companies, but my background is project management, construction project management. I've ran really, really large construction projects, hundreds of dollars, and I've worked for construction companies under that $50 million mark. And I have to tell you, what you're trying to do, I actually think is really needed in that space for all the reasons that you said. So I think just from my knowledge and what I've seen, and I did look at your profile, looks got a robust background in it too. I think you're on something good there. But this particular industry, especially using LinkedIn, putting content out there to show people and showcase some of your knowledge and really getting the need in front of them, you'll find people will want to chat with you, will want to have that conversation because they know they need it. But especially in construction, those guys and gals are running around with their heads cut off, chickens with their heads cut off because they're always so busy, especially right now, that the best thing you could do is almost be like that little disruptor in a nice way where they see something like, oh, I could use that. How easy is it for me to have a conversation with Corey? How easy does Corey make it for me to onboard this? How quick can I make it happen? Those are the types of things those folks are looking at. And that's what Shanae has really helped me develop, is using my content as that hook. And then people slowly will work their way into my funnel, into my ecosystem. We create relationships, and then we have deeper discussions after that.
And by deeper discussions, he closes.
Yes.
So Corey, what needs to happen for you to at least start creating content daily or at least 5 times a week on LinkedIn for 90 days? If that requires a VA to clip your videos or whatever, that's where I would start, because I think that'd be a game changer for you.
Thank you.
Jace, how are you going to grow your business?
I feel like it's too easy for me. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I'm just so confident in everything that I'm doing. How am I going to grow my business? Pretty simple. Content and marketing. That's how I'm doing it. Content marketing is the way to go, especially in the recruiting industry that I'm in. I need to be a voice and advocate speaker for the industry, especially in sales. I know there's a lot of sales industry, sales recruitment, all that stuff, but I don't really know any big ones out there. And that's the angle that I'm going with.
And that's how you should feel in your business. There's no right or wrong way to grow the business that you want to grow. You may want to never see one-on-one clients and just build up a newsletter that you charge a monthly membership for, or that you grow so big that then you do partnerships for and then advertisement on. You may love one-on-one coaching and just want to do one-on-one. You may just want to do a group. There's so many things and ways to do it that there's no right or wrong way. And where people make the biggest mistake is they grow their business by focusing and creating offers that drain them instead of make them feel excited. So you should all have the zeal that Jace has because he's found his rhythm. Jordan.
I'm literally just starting up my own business at the moment. I've already got a business, which is a hair and makeup company. It's growing quite fast, and it's now got 96 makeup artists on the team, doing mobile hair and makeup around hotel chains around Europe. But I want to move more down the marketing. I'm in university doing business management and marketing, and I want to set up my own marketing company. And really, I just wanted to ask you advice on what you did to be so successful and any advice that you could give me starting up.
Well, what I did is just share your story. I'd do a video and I'd say, I have this one company, but I'm thinking about launching a marketing company. I'm going to be sharing my journey with you, the good, the bad, the challenges. And I think that's the ultimate thing that you want to do, is bring people along your journey with you instead of always throwing statistics and stuff at them. That's how you build community. What type of marketing company?
I really want to do marketing plans, brand analysis, all social media
For
aspects
who?
of it. That's another question I wanted to ask. So the niche market I really wanted to target was small businesses. See, with my hair and makeup company, we've always wanted to get big agencies in to come and do the marketing for us, but we have never really been able to afford it. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that a lot of marketing agencies are really expensive. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to go down the route of helping smaller companies, local salons and stuff that can't afford marketing, they can't afford to grow the business. So they just stay on the one track. That's the kind of market I wanted to go for, but I didn't know if that was a mistake because they wouldn't have the funds to do what I would suggest in a marketing plan, like an app or something, for example.
How are they going to pay you unless you create something that teaches them how to do their own marketing?
Yeah, and how would you sell that? So if I sent out, for example, a marketing plan that was just a normal marketing plan, how you would do that, and then offer them for a small cost to personalize it to their company, would that be a clever way to go about it?
Yeah, because you know the space. Imagine I do a few templates, let's say like a 90-day marketing plan for a hair salon, a 90-day marketing plan if they sell lashes or wigs or something like that, a 90-day marketing plan if they do makeup or sell makeup, a 90-day marketing plan for nail salon. Yeah. Create maybe 5 of these templates because there's not that many different things. And then they could follow the generic one. And then obviously the ones that have a few locations and make more money, you can personalize it and they could pay you on a retainer.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ram.
You're welcome. But if you know that space, you could dominate because not many marketing companies serve that space. They serve corporate or they serve other types of businesses like service, other marketing companies, service-based businesses that don't have products attached. I think the beauty of what you could do is how do you sell wigs? Like how do you go on social media and sell wigs or lashes, or how do you promote your hair salon? And even giving them different ideas on how to make money. You could train someone that does hair, owns a hair salon, to maybe create a course on how to do hair because that'd be another stream of income for them.
Thank you so much. That's really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that helped. Philip.
Well, for me, it's all about getting out and connecting because I found out that you can only do so much on LinkedIn and social media and everything. And what I'm trying to do, it's more of a face-to-face type of thing of just educating people and letting them be aware of that there's more out there. You never know exactly what your clients are looking for unless you talk to them. You interact with them, and for me, it's just building that base and trying to get speaking engagements and everything here and on Zoom or whatever. I think that's, for me, one of the hardest things, just finding out exactly what the market is.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I'm a emotional intelligence and mindfulness coach. And I help veterans break through trauma for better life or for happiness, for them to find happiness. But I use that as the emotional intelligence as a foundation for them to build upon to get in the moment, because a lot of times veterans are living in the future or in the past.
Do you have clients currently, even if it's 2 or whatever?
I have 2.
Okay. Who's?
Hey, good guess.
Tell me about the best one of the 2.
Well, the best one, a lot of it is they have a problem when you transition into the civilian world, because in the military, you're given a budget. You're not worrying about raising money or anything because you're a government employee. But when you transition out, what we're finding out is, and one of the things that I had a problem with, the same as them, is we're a little too aggressive. And when they go into a interview or whatever, and usually with a hiring manager, we know we're confident in what we know. And it tends to scare off a lot of hiring managers because they're afraid that we're going to go in and take over or get bored and move on. But the thing about it is what she found out was that she needed to slow her roll. And what she was doing to where she needed to prioritize her actions to become a lot more palatable.
Okay. All right. What job did she get?
Well, no, she's still looking. I'm still helping her find one.
What job does she want?
She wants to get into more of logistics and logistics management. But what she's finding out is she has a lot more experience than the people that she's interviewing with.
But rule number 1, never outshine the master.
Exactly. And that's what I try. That's my focus. Exactly right there. It's how do we humble ourselves and set our ego aside and our pride to go in there and get the job. And a lot of it has to do with, she was saying she's worked for other places that she goes in there, she's mission driven. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times it doesn't happen as fast as we want it.
I mean, your offer is pretty clear. You help them transition into maybe management roles. If I were you, just to make it easier, I'd also partner with companies that have a high propensity to hire veterans. It's almost like you're the intermediary between these companies, the veterans, and then you need to put yourself out there to attract veterans that are in transition or that maybe just got fired because it's their 5th job out of transition, out of the military, and they still haven't found something that jives with them.
I agree wholeheartedly with you. And that's what I'm trying to do. And
Okay, Philip, so we're going to keep you accountable. If you don't post on LinkedIn today and tomorrow, I'm going to call you out.
Okay. You know what? Fair enough, because my biggest problem is because I'm retired and I'm getting into another field that I think is desperately needed. And I need people like you to hold me accountable.
See, a lot of your training starts with content. If I'm in transition and I keep going to these job interviews and I keep getting rejected, if I come across one of your videos and something that you say or suggest helps me, then I'm like, oh, well, if that helped, maybe imagine how I could improve if I actually hired this person. A lot of what could happen for you is just on the other side of you becoming consistent with content so that they could start to implement whatever changes that you even suggest. Kamal, did you have a question on how to grow your business?
Yes. So I'm hosting these LinkedIn events. The show up rate is very low. At least I think it's low. It's about 3%. So they show up to the actual time when I'm hosting it on LinkedIn Live, 3%. And it's even a lot less than that, those who actually do sign up to the email list. Because there's a link somewhere in the detail of the invitation. I'm a mindset coach, so I teach goal setting and achieving self-image from Bob Proctor Tommy. So what's the magic for getting them to really sign up and show up? Because I see 300-400 people signing up to the event saying, yes, I'm coming, I'm planning to be there, but then it's less than 3% for those who do show up.
Is the type of event you're talking about, is it a private webinar on Zoom or is it on LinkedIn?
It's on LinkedIn.
Is it an audio event or a video event?
Video event.
First of all, who's your best client? And then what type of topics are you creating for these events? Tell me about your best client.
My best client, real estate agents.
Okay. What was the last title of your event?
Oh, the last one was Success Strategies.
You need to change it. So success strategies for real estate agents. Mindset activities for real estate agents. How real estate agents can find better properties or close more deals, or how to create a successful morning routine as a real estate agent. You need to be really specific with who you're talking to because less people will sign up, but because it's speaking directly to them, let's say you go from 300 to 75 signups, your show up rate will probably 10x because you're speaking directly to them and their problems.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I think it's just the specificity because it's too general. I would just speak to real estate agents. And then another thing I do is maybe do a private Q&A for the people that do show up live, because the downside of just going live on LinkedIn is there's a difference. With live audio, you have to join the event, which means that you're going to be on the Rolodex of the event. There's evidence that you were here. Live video, I could go on your profile right now and watch the live video. It will never show that I attended, but I still watched it. So you're not capturing everyone that's technically watching your event because they know that they don't have to click attend, versus in audio room they do. So you have to really incentivize them to want to tell you that they were there live or that they watched it after. And the way that you do that is either through helpful tools or whatever, or through access, which is in the middle of it. You could say, if you've watched this live, message me and you'll get XYZ. You'll get access to a private Q&A, whatever. But you have to incentivize people to prove that they watched it, because that's a downside of live on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
This was a great conversation. Thank you, everyone, for joining. God bless you. I love you all. Ciao.